Hello, this is Cassie B, and this is the Whatever It Takes podcast. It's December 28th, and not much has happened in my life. I am quite tired. I feel like I've had so much energy, and now I'm coming down from that. Yeah. I am still getting a lot of work done. I made a few more coasters and just getting what I can done while feeling like this, kind of demotivated, less energy. Yeah. It's not unpredictable because yesterday I did so much. And today I did a lot, and the plans I had for today changed a lot. So I had to also kind of go into today unprepared and not knowing what to really do. I took it as kind of I took it as kind of a relaxed day because I had things planned to do, productive things, but if I can't do them, I got a few things done. So I was able to get quite a few things done. And then I just spent the day relaxing, really, in an odd way. I didn't do too much to relax. I just kind of watched videos and read some stuff, but I did it without having a other project to work on or something that I was working on while I was watching it. And it was nice. Usually I want to do this podcast earlier, but I do it when I have time to. So it's kind of, for the last 3 nights at least, it's been like near 9 o'clock or 10 o'clock, and I'm at the point where I don't have very much energy. I'm just trying to think what tomorrow's gonna be like. I'll tell you about my tomorrow. Tomorrow I'm going to take a maybe just one I'm going to take a very long bike ride to figure out how to bike ride to a place that I will be having a lot of appointments at and stuff for my part-time job and stuff. And it's not the worst bike ride, but it's kind of difficult when you haven't gone somewhere before, when you don't really know the route yet. One day it might be like second nature, but for right now, it's all so new, so I'm kind of going through it in my mind, but I'm sure it's going to be a little different than I think. And I was going to do that today, but it was raining quite hard, and I didn't want to do it for the first time in the rain. So I moved it to tomorrow, and I think that was a good choice, but I was so ready to do it today. And I think that's partly where I lost a lot of my energy and a lot of my drive, because I knew what I was going to do, but then I didn't. So I didn't really do as much, because I'm good when it comes to planning what I need to do. I'm good when it comes to making a list and kind of putting that list in order from which one I'm going to do first, and sometimes getting it all done if I feel like I have enough energy. Today wasn't a day that I felt like I had enough energy. Especially as it got later, I got less and less, and it was really good. I got to talk to one of my friends. My dog is digging in a pile of blankets, so she's jingling her collar. I got to talk to a bunch of friends. I got to talk to one of my friends, and we had a nice phone call, and I got inspired by a lot of things. And I got to eat some like dried apricots and pears and peaches, and it was really delicious. It felt kind of fancy, and that was good, but I also kind of neglected as the holiday goes on. For quite a while I didn't have to go to like the grocery store or anything. So I didn't go to the grocery store today. I'll have to do that sometime. But I've kind of been not neglecting my health, or, not. I always remember to eat something, but a lot of the times it won't be very healthy. It will be like, oh, I'll eat a snack. Or like today I didn't really have a full like meal. And when I say full meal, I'm not like talking like an extravagant meal, but something that kind of has like a vegetable and a protein, and it could even be like a sandwich, but it still feels more like a good meal because you get the carbohydrates and everything. And I've been neglecting that a little bit. I have been eating semi-regularly, like I at least eat 3 times a day, but it might not be very healthy, and I feel that a little bit. I feel like, I will have more energy too when I go to the store and I eat things that are a little more better for me, especially since the holiday. I feel like it's been all like not very good for me things, like going out for Chinese food and then having Chinese food leftovers for 2 days, and then on Christmas Eve we just had like a charcuterie board, and that wasn't very healthy. The healthiest thing was probably like pickles or olives on that thing. Just a lot of, it feels like a lot of like processed meat, like salamis and pepperoni and stuff like that, and that's not very good. And I think every day since Christmas, it hasn't been that long since Christmas, but maybe every day since like Christmas Eve, or maybe a day before that, I've had like hot chocolate every day for a week with like whipped cream and chocolate sauce, and not very good. It was delicious, but it's not very good for me health-wise. Yeah, and I just need I'm not always good with, I like making meals. Like, I would be really happy making a big meal. Like, something you make, I don't know, like a casserole or something that feels like a meal, like making eggplant parm or lasagna or something like that. But you can't always do that, and I don't do that very often because it's just me, and like that would be a lot, and I'd have to eat it like every day, which I think I would enjoy, but I also have a problem where I get very nauseous about things that I used to like. I enjoy this, I would eat it, often, but then I lose my appetite for it, you know? And I might lose my appetite for it for months, you know? If one thing is wrong, I'm like, oh no. And it's just mostly psychological, I think. But that makes it hard too, and not being the greatest at, you know, making very, very simple meals. Like, I do it well when I know what to do. Like, oh, I'll have pasta and sauce, tomato sauce, and I will have cereal one night and, kind of balance things out. Oh, I'll buy salad greens and have a salad for lunch a few days and things like that. But yeah, I'm also very concerned about, I've always been, even when, you know, even having money and such, even when I'm like well off, I've saved up enough, things like that. I'll always be concerned with money because I never really had money growing up and stuff, or allowance or anything. So I'm really concerned about saving money and not wasting food and not buying stuff I'm gonna waste. So sometimes I won't buy as much, like, maybe for 1 week I get a bag of apples and then I have all the apples that week. I feel great, I like the apples. And then the next week I buy apples again or some other fruit. If something works 1 week, you might want to try it again, but also you might get mentally bored of it. But I buy the apples and then I don't eat the apples, like none of them. For some reason, these apples have like the plague now and I'm staying away from them. So then I won't buy apples, but sometimes I won't find a replacement for that. So I'm not eating the fruit. It's hard. I'm gonna be more conscious about this. I was thinking about like food and eating, and there is some stuff in life that makes it hard for people to eat, and it makes it yeah, it's very hard for a lot of people. So I'm just trying to keep improving, and sometimes, especially like on this field, this plane, it feels like that's something I struggle with a lot. Cooking and preparing meals, and I know a lot of people with like ADHD do. When I'm consistent, I'm very good. Like when I'm eating a meal 3 times a day, I can do that for quite a while, like a consistent month or two. But then something happens and I feel like I'm back to square one. It's not very consistent a lot. But that's okay. I'm doing good. I'm being healthy. I do get a moderate amount of exercise and such. So I feel good on that subject, because I do have pets I need to walk, and I go out at least 3 times a day with them, and we go on a walk around the block. And if I need to go to the grocery store, I walk to the grocery store. And yeah, I'm gonna do biking tomorrow. So I do feel like, yeah, I really try to do my best. It's on the days. It's like when you have a lot of good days and you have one hard day. I don't consider it a bad day, just a hard day. Because it just feels hard. It's, yeah, it can feel really hard. It can feel really like you're on a low point. But it will change, you know. Always when I'm feeling bad one day, I always say something like, by the end of the day, you know, everything's gonna be alright. I'm gonna feel good. And usually I do. Like when I was working and I was really stressed from my job, I would say that. And usually things would be good by the end of the day. And I think mostly I used that tactic when I had a lot of anxiety at my job, a lot of maybe during the beginning of it when I wasn't, you know, my former job, when I wasn't certain of some things I had to do in my life. I would have a lot of stress. Little things would really bother me, like if I felt like I made somebody uncomfortable, that would bother me for a long time. If somebody said a remark to me, that might bother me for a long time. Nowadays, those things don't really bother me. I know that if I feel a lot of anxiety, I can still feel like that. And I think, you know, our emotions never really go away, but we learn how to deal with them better and we mature as people. Yeah, so, yeah. But usually by the end of the day, everything's okay. You know, let yourself relax if you need to. Yeah. So, I'm just thinking of a lot of things I want to do. Really want to play my guitar. I need to set aside at least. It's hard. It's hard when you say, I'm going to set aside time for it, and then you get a lot of anxiety because you feel like, you know, I set aside time for it. Why aren't I doing it? You know, it's kind of a little barrier for me right now, but I'm going to do it. I've done it before, and I will do it again. So I just, yeah, having kind of a low day. And I don't think it started out as a low day. I think it was good even when I couldn't go bike riding. I was like, you know, I was like, "Oh, I'm good. I'm just going to relax." And I think sometimes it comes from relaxing too much. I get really bored. I like to be busy. I like to do things. I guess every 3 or 4 days of like, sit down, dog. Sit down. Every 3 or 4 days of, you know, I think even when I'm like working a job 8 hours a day and I come home and I watch videos on the computer, like videos on the computer to relax and stuff, it gets really, you have like one good day and then it just goes downhill and you kind of, I don't know. It's not really the way I feel about it right now. It's not really an addiction, but you can tell when it's starting to become unfun, you know, and you have an awareness that you're just watching it to watch it, not because you enjoy it, and then you start thinking, what should I do instead? And our lives are so attached to computers and phones and all this stuff, because a lot of the time we need them for work. We need them to do our work. We need them to, just to live our lives. But we let ourselves get roped in a little bit. And I'm no exception to any of this. Yeah. And I think right now, I'm not really watching it when I'm not wanting to watch it. I am a little bit, but also sometimes you get very tired looking at a screen. You start getting little headaches and stuff, and your eyes get a little strained, and it's hard. It's not fun anymore to be doing that, but you don't really know what else to do. You might be doing work while you're watching it. You might be crocheting, you might be, drawing, you might be doing so many different things, but, you're still extremely bored of this thing. That's how I feel. And I feel kind of bad. It's just a lot to deal with. Christmas and then New Year's is right after it. And I'm doing good with the things I said I'm going to do. I can really tell that I'm trying to stick to what I say I'm going to do and stick to what I think's gonna make me happy. Self-discipline and such. But also I can feel I'm stressed about the new year coming closer, and I'm not really doing some of the things I wanted to do to prepare for that. But sometimes you have to be okay with just taking a break, which I'm doing now, and I'll do the rest of tonight. And I repainted my nails tonight, which I think looks nice, just so that my nails hopefully don't chip. I have kind of been neglecting them before Christmas because sometimes it's hard to take care of them. Sometimes you just don't do anything, and that's fine. But I want them to be healthy and pretty and nice, and so many interesting things I've observed lately, learning about a whole lot of new things and learning about a whole lot of things that I want to do and get back into, and reasons that I didn't get into them in the first place, Yeah. So, Christmas is over. It was so nice. I really had a great Christmas, and the New Year's coming. And I think it's not really about being ready, because the New Year will come, and that doesn't mean I can't work on these things. I'm going to work on these things throughout the year. But it just feels like I want to keep to my resolutions, but sometimes it doesn't feel like my resolutions are in my brain. It doesn't feel like I remember them all the time, and that's hard because I really want to. I'll probably end up printing out something with them on it and then hopefully having it in a spot where I can remember it's there. And I think that will help. Well, not in a spot where I'll remember it's there, because if I have papers or anything and I put it somewhere, I will not remember it. I'll never look at it again unless it's in front of my face. So I will put it somewhere that no matter what, I have to look. And I think that's smart. So hopefully I can get to the store soon and I can get some good things that will be delicious and also healthy. I want to just make sure I am getting enough vegetables and fruits, and it can be very hard because fruits and vegetables go badly so quickly. Yeah, which is a shame, but I've been doing good. I should get some salad or something. I just want to also, this is an important thing to me. I want to feel when I eat, it's very easy to eat things that you feel are like luxurious and stuff like that. And I don't do that too often. And I don't want to eat like high class quality food. But for me, something luxurious is like a homemade meal, or you get a meal from a restaurant and it just tastes better than what you would make. I want to make food that tastes better than what I think I can make. And I know I can do it, and I know it will be good. It's hard cooking when you set yourself a budget, or if you're on a strict budget, because even making one coherent meal that has the vegetables you need, like the protein you need, the carbohydrates you need, it costs a lot of money. It doesn't cost as much as going out, I don't think. But it does cost a lot of money. It's like, it can be around like $20 for one meal. If you're one person, you'll definitely have leftovers, but also being one person, you can't really eat that many. You can't eat. Maybe you'll get sick of that. I guess that's the point I'm making. Like, it's so easy to get sick of something. And for me, if I make a whole big meal, and then for some reason, mentally or physically, I feel like it's not something I like or I want to eat it, then I'm stuck with all these leftovers that I don't know what to do with. So, or sadly, I'll have to throw them away. And I really try to eat, and I'm not a picky person. If anybody made me a meal, I would eat it, and I'd feel good about it. But when it comes to me and what I choose to, and what I make myself, for some reason there's a disconnect sometimes. I'm eating 3 meals a day most days. Today was an exception. It was like 3 snacks that weren't really a meal, and then like eating like a pack of ramen, which I couldn't really eat because I felt like nauseous or something. I don't know. Yeah, I felt the feeling I feel when I'm sick of something. And I don't eat it often. I just felt sick of it like 6 months ago, and I haven't been able to eat it since. Which is fine, but hard to deal with because it happens so easily. Yeah, so I just want to make meals that I feel are a little better than I expect. Like something delicious. When you eat something delicious, you're like, this is really good. And I want to make that for myself. And I don't know if it involves I've been doing so many different things. Making one big meal and eating it for like 3 days as like dinners and having lunches and stuff, or making getting just snack stuff and cereals and pre-made things and eating those, or, oops, something fell. I don't know what it involves to get into a habit, because my habits keep changing so quickly. Or with food, it's like every few months it will change. So it's very interesting. It's something I have to think about, because I am taking good care of myself. Better than I've ever feel like I've been taken care of before. I feel good, but it is hard to know what to do. And I also have to, when you have a budget, you have to buy things that can be other things. I don't know if you know what I'm talking about, but you have to get something that you can use in other meals. Like, you get this ingredient and then you use it in a lot of different things to not have it go to waste, but also make it feel different. So that's where I'm gonna end today. Maybe we can talk more about this later. I think it's interesting. It's a point in my life where I'm really working on. So, thank you so much. This was the Whatever It Takes podcast.